Once upon a time, in a grand castle nestled amidst ancient forests, there lived a princess named Flora. She was a spirited young woman, with eyes that held the secrets of distant lands, and a heart that yearned for adventure beyond the castle walls. But alas, her parents, King Edgar and Queen Isadora, forbade her from venturing beyond those stone ramparts. They whispered tales of lurking dangers, beasts, bandits, and treacherous terrain, waiting to ensnare any who dared to step outside. The princess listened to these stories, her imagination weaving wild fantasies of enchanted forests and hidden treasures. One fateful morning, Flora decided she could bear her gilded cage no longer. She approached her father, determination etched on her face. "Father," she implored, "I long to see what lies beyond our walls. Even if I must be accompanied by 20 guards, I beg you to grant me this chance." King Edgar's stern gaze softened as he looked upon his daughter. "My dear, it is not fitting for a princess, let alone a future queen, to wander beyond the safety of our castle. The world outside is harsh and unforgiving." But Flora's spirit burned brighter than any castle torch. That very night, she slipped out of her chambers, her silk gown rustling against the cold stones. The moon illuminated her path as she ventured into the forbidden forest. The air smelled of pine and adventure, and her heart raced with anticipation. Lost among ancient oaks and winding trails, Flora stumbled upon a figure huddled behind a gnarled tree. As she drew closer, she gasped. A horse, its coat as white as snow, stood before her. But this was no ordinary steed. It had only 3 legs, yet its eyes held a quiet strength. The princess knelt beside the horse, her fingers tracing the rough scars where the missing limb once was. "How did you come to be here, my friend?" she whispered. The horse nuzzled her hand, and in that moment, a bond formed, a silent promise between a curious princess and a resilient creature. Meanwhile, back at the castle, chaos erupted. Guards scoured the forest, shouting Flora's name. The king's heart clenched with worry. When they finally found her, she sat beside the 3-legged horse, tears streaming down her face. They ordered her home, leaving the horse behind. Flora's heart shattered. She pleaded with her father. "Please, father, let me help this horse. It deserves a chance to run freely once more. I want to find a way to give it a prosthetic leg." King Edgar hesitated, torn between duty and compassion. Days passed, and the princess remained in her room, her spirit wilting like a forgotten rose. Until one morning, the king entered, his eyes filled with resolve. "Flora," he said, "I cannot bear to see you so despondent. We shall find a way to help the horse, together." And so, the princess and her father worked tirelessly. They sought out skilled artisans, consulted wise healers, and crafted a prosthetic leg for the horse. As the sun dipped below the castle walls, they watched the horse take its first tentative steps, its eyes reflecting gratitude. From that day forward, Flora became known as the Princess of Compassion. She ruled with both wisdom and kindness, and her bond with the 3-legged horse remained unbreakable. And whenever she gazed beyond the castle walls, she saw not danger, but possibility, a world waiting to be explored, one hoofbeat at a time.